present in our Hi, Jean. How are you?
I'm good, Erica. How are you?
I'm great. Glad you could join us. I apologize for last week if you happened to be here.
I was, but I understand. There weren't many people actually.
Okay. Well, so far you're the only one in here. So is there anything specific that you want to do? Requests?
No, I know I've been to two of the classes. One of them I had to miss, but no, I think it's an interesting and I think it's important to know as much as I can about yoga.
Mhm.
And in terms of the chair yoga, I think it's great some of the stuff that you can do on the chair. So I'm happy.
Yeah. Do you like to stay pretty limited to the sitting in the chair, or are you more active? You want to get up and stand and move around a bit?
I'm fine with at whatever you want to do.
Okay.
But I just finished Allie's class, the 8 limbs of yoga, the
Mhm.
one that she taught from September until like January.
Mhm.
And I've been doing the one on with the emerald necklace too. Lloyd is a teacher right now. So yeah,
So you're getting a lot of active yoga.
yeah, I'm just, I'm going to take the class on mental health too. I won't be there on this Thursday, but is it this Thursday? Yeah. Because
This is
that sounds fascinating to me.
I'm teaching it. I'm teaching it.
Yeah, I know. I said, oh, I might as well sign up for it.
Yeah, I love that. Well, Jean, let's get started just sitting today. If
Okay.
you're able, and yeah, we'll leave you unmuted in case you want to ask questions or anything. I don't, if anyone else pops in, I'll mute you, but you want to sit in such a way that ideally the feet are flat on the floor. Okay, so nothing's crossed, the
Yep.
energy flow. Rest the hands on the legs or lap in such a way that your shoulders stack right over the hips. So you're not leaning forwards, you're not leaning backwards. And then slightly drop your chin, lengthen through the back of the neck. And then either close your eyes or just gaze down the tip of the nose. Okay. I'd like to take the first few minutes just to ground and center yourself, right? We kind of do that by starting with an awareness of the external environment and then narrowing that scope of attention more and more to what's happening internally. So begin here just by noticing sound around you. Which sound is farthest? And which is closest? And even underneath sound, can you hear a quiet hum of silence? And you can check in with the other senses, even with the eyes closed. Notice any light or form or color behind the lids. There might be a scent in the air or a taste on your tongue. Those two senses are connected. And the other sensory organ that gives us a ton of feedback is the skin. So notice the surface of it, any movement of air. The temperature of the parts of the skin exposed, which is warmest, which is coolest. Feel the different textures of fabric from your clothing. Any constriction contrasted with a looseness or sense of freedom. Notice the pressure of the parts of your body touching something solid beneath you or behind you. Which part feels heaviest? And which part the lightest? And now from the external environment, bring your focus inward. This is your sixth sense, your sense of interoception. And you can think of all the layers of tissue here. Maybe the muscle is communicating some soreness or tightness or tension. Okay, if you've already been up and about, moving around before class, you might feel a warmth or a suppleness to the musculature. And can you feel and sense into the layer of bone and where they connect to the joints? And as we age, and especially in kind of colder weather, the joints can be quite chatty. And kind of getting down to the layers of nerves that just spread throughout the entire body, connecting back to the spinal cord, the brain. And the layer of organs as well, heartbeat, movement of lungs. Right, the stomach or the intestines or the bladder. And then bring your attention more to that single focus of the breath, either around the rims of the nostrils or the movement of the abdomen. Just feel the sensations there. And there's no need to change anything about the breath. Just follow its natural flow. Notice its pace, its depth, its texture. Notice which nostril is more open. And now it doesn't have to be dramatic, but just gradually start to deepen the breath so that you feel the full circumference of the torso. Right, so front to back. Side to side. Bottom to top. Keep your active attention focused on the sensations of breath, but you can allow your open awareness to receive all that other data, right, from the rest of the body, from the external environment, from any thoughts, popping up in the mind as well. Okay, but the idea there is to not let any single thing distract you from your focus on the breath. Okay, so increasing the total capacity of your consciousness by exercising the two capabilities of the mind, focused attention and open awareness. And just take another few moments to observe that scope of attention. Feel free to keep the eyes closed if you want to keep the focus inward. Readdress the posture though. Are you sitting down evenly through both sit bones? But then imagine you are a marionette, you have a string pulling you up through the crown of the head. So a calm but alert posture. And let's tip your right ear towards your right shoulder. Just let the weight of the head hang there for a moment. Feel how the weight of it pulls on the muscles of the neck. Maybe you feel it resonate down the shoulder or even further down the arm. Now let the head be heavy as you roll the chin through the chest. And we're going to go slowly from shoulder to shoulder for a few rounds in this semicircle. Notice the connection. All that fascia is connected in the back line of the body. So maybe you feel a little pull down the rest of the spine. Right, tip the ear towards the left shoulder, let it hang there for a moment. And feel free to kind of move the jaw around as well. You can open and close and press the lips together, puff out the cheeks. Now try going all the way around, but you want to prioritize space, not compression. So imagine you have like a giraffe neck. And you'll want to begin to draw different shapes with your nose. Okay, so that full circle can feel nice for the muscle, but we also want to lubricate all the vertebra in all the ways they can move. So I like some figure eights. And perhaps some stars or zigzags. And just take a couple more breaths. Feel and hear what's happening inside the neck. And eventually here you'll wind your way back to center. Let's spread the arms open. And then cross your right arm underneath your left. Okay, so option one is just to have, there you go. You're going to option three there, Jean. If it's accessible to you, you can totally do your eagle bind, backs of hands or palms press. Okay, we're gonna find a little back bend here. So lift the chest up, lift your elbows up. And then round your spine forward, pull your elbows in towards the belly button, forearms and head hang heavily. Breathe into the back of the heart. Okay, and then inhale, come back up through center. Trace the fingertips along the ceiling. Exhale, curl forward. Again, inhale, rise. And exhale, fold. Okay, inhale, take it up. A little different here on your exhale. Bring your elbows more towards the knee. And then over to the other knee. Back up and around. Okay, try a few circles in that one direction. So your spine is moving all around, but the shoulder blades are also involved. So the circle with the elbow is big. Okay, and then you'll switch the direction of the circle. And again, you're thinking of space, not compression. So really kind of lift up and out of your seat a little bit energetically. Let's do one more in this direction. on back to center, unravel the arms, reach the left arm up. Okay, you can hold on to the seat of your chair or the arm of your chair for support. We'll take a side bend, up and over, okay? But do think up and over, not just over, so you're maintaining some space in the right side there. And we use the breath to help open up the body from the inside out. So on the inhale, you can lift up a little bit, reach a little farther through the fingertips, and then exhale, bend slightly more deeply. And repeat that, inhale, lift, lengthen, exhale, dip. Okay, and then come on back up. Keep that arm lifted. We're gonna twist now to the right. Okay. Right arm at the back of your chair or seat of the chair, depending on the structure of your chair. Left hand, either back of it or palm can press against the inner thigh. And you're just using the arms as leverage to help coax, a little bit more rotation out of the spine. It is like a corkscrew though, so you still want to keep this vertical lift as you rotate. If it feels okay in the neck, you can take a peek over the back shoulder. And still try to feel the breath in the entire circumference of the torso, right? The twist is going to create all these little kind of pockets. Try to fill them up. And then release to center. Take that moment at center and pause. So the pause in yoga, just as important as the pose. You give the nervous system a chance to integrate, a chance to actually feel and remember at a cellular level what it feels like to be more spacious and open and relaxed. Okay, and then arms spread open. We're gonna cross the left arm under, so opposite of what we did before. Just because something works on one arm doesn't mean it's gonna work on both. If it's accessible, you can try your eagle bind. And then we'll find the back bend. Inhale, lift the elbows. I kind of like to channel the essence of an elephant here, pretending my arms are a trunk. And then exhale, just dive forward, round the back, scoop out the belly. Okay, flow a couple of times through the middle with your breath at your own pace. Okay, and at minimum, each day, it's important to move the spine around all the ways it can move. Okay, so here we're bending, we're folding. Okay, add that circular motion in. Right, in a moment we'll side bend and twist. So those are all the ways the spine moves. And of course here we have a little more circling of the spine, which incorporates a couple of movements at once. Flip the direction of your circle. Okay, and just make sure you're breathing. I like to inhale as I come up, exhale as I come down. But whatever works for you. And then recenter, unravel the arms. Right arm reaches high. Okay, prop yourself with the left hand however you see fit. And you find that bend. Okay, so right sit bone is heavy. And you are reaching the arm overhead, not by tensing up the shoulder, but by trying to create more space between the bottom of your rib cage and the crest of your pelvis. Okay, those intercostal muscles between the ribs also stretch. Okay, one more breath. Okay, upright the torso. Keep the side body long as you twist. Okay. And if the right hand is working against the leg, make sure the leg is sturdy. It doesn't start to buckle towards the middle of the chair. Okay. And by sitting, a seated twist is nice because it stabilizes the low back. The vertebra of the low back don't like to twist a whole lot. So think of twisting more from your solar plexus region. That's the area right above the navel. And then up through the rest of the thoracic spine that's attached to the rib cage. All the way up through the collarbones and shoulder blades. Move the right collarbone forward, left shoulder blade squeezes back. Take a peek over the shoulder. And then come back to center. Take that moment. If you're feeling still a little lopsided, you could do a quick counter twist back in the other direction. A water break, important to stay hydrated. And then from here, you might have to scoot forward more onto the edge of your seat, widen the legs. Okay. And then you're going to bring your hands, fingers pointing down to your inner thighs. Okay, so it's almost if you didn't have the chair, you'd be in like an umpire squat. Okay, take a breath in. Arms are pretty straight. They might lift by the ears a little bit. On your exhale, push against the inner thigh. Dip the head of your left arm down. Yeah, I need to peek over the right shoulder. Okay, back to center. Breathe in. Exhale, dip the head of the right arm down. Look over the left. Okay, and you're pressing the right hand against the thigh just to encourage a little bit of that hip opening. Inhale, center. We're going to do that a couple of times side to side. Exhale, dip. Inhale, return. Okay, so we're exaggerating the internal rotation of the arm. And also trying to target the twist a little bit more in the upper back. Okay, let's do one more on each arm there. And then back to center, bring the legs together. Hands to the heart. Okay. Now you're just going to shift forward. Hover your butt like an inch away from the chair. It's chair pose without the chair. Good, and this pose gets intense pretty quickly. Try to anchor down through all four corners of the feet. Tailbone is long, low belly is toned. Try not to collapse the chest. Keep the collarbones broad. We're gonna hold here for 3, 2, 1, and then press up to stand. Awesome. Let's use the back of your chair here. Okay, so hands on it, about shoulder width distance if the chair back is wide enough. And then make sure it's sturdy, right? I'm gonna kind of slide around a little bit, but make sure it's sturdy. And then walk your feet back so your chest is kind of dropping through the gate of your arms. So this is kind of like a down dog, right, with the chair. Do keep a little engagement in the low belly. So you're drawing the navel towards the spine. You don't want to drop into a big back bend. Instead, you want to focus more on the shoulder opening, the shoulder flexion. Your neck is relaxed by just looking down at the floor. All the way up through the armpits. And walk your feet just a little closer so you're more upright. In fact, let's come all the way up to stand upright. Still holding the back of the chair. Step your left foot back into a lunge, okay? Pulse through that left heel a few times. Doesn't it all have to touch the floor? You're just trying to stretch out your calves. Okay. Now lunge a little more deeply into your front knee. Target here is to open up the front of the left hip, right? So the hip flexors. Holding onto the back of the chair still for balance. Straighten your front leg. Okay, we're gonna go back and forth a few times. Inhale, bend, lunge forward. Exhale, push down into the standing foot, straighten the leg. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Okay, one more here, bend. Straighten, and then step up back to the top. Okay. Holding on to the chair still for balance. Let's see, that was the left leg back. So let's hold onto the chair with your right hand, kick back and hold your left foot. Okay, now there are a couple of options here. If at all able, pretend you're holding a platter and then just straighten your elbow and hold the big toe edge of the foot, right? So as opposed to the internal rotation that we did seated, now we're emphasizing the external rotation. Knee points down, tailbone is heavy. Perhaps you feel a little bit more stretch in the quadriceps there. And you can certainly stay more upright. Or if you want to add a little bit more back bend, dancer pose, start to kick your foot back, leaning the torso a little bit forward. Keep the eyes steady on a single point. Okay. Pelvis is pretty level to the ceiling. Okay, breathe for 3, 2, 1. Gently release. Stand upright. Don't slingshot the shin. Let it go. Okay, take a moment to feel into the difference in the two legs. And then we'll do that on the other side. Left foot stays forward, right foot steps back. Okay. Initially, just kind of work through the back heel, coming up onto the ball of the foot and then anchoring down. Okay. I'll bend more deeply into the front knee. Give the right butt cheek a little squeeze too. And then propel off that front foot. So you're really pressing down. Can you feel how the outer left hip firms when that happens? And then bend, lunge forward, and straighten. A couple more times, really slow and deliberate, like you are moving through water, like something with some viscosity. So strength is built in these very slow transitions. Okay, for 3, 2, 1. Okay, and then launch forward, step forward, stabilize with the left hand, grip with the right, so keep the thumb up towards the ceiling and try to hold the big toe side, right, the inner arch. Take a moment to stabilize your foundation. Okay. Knee points down, tailbone lengthens. And that could be enough. Or if you want to deepen the back bend, extend the leg behind you first. Can you feel the glutes fire up? And then perhaps you kick the foot a little higher, holding onto the chair for balance, or maybe you bring the hand to the heart. You know? And the breath helps to stabilize the body from the inside out. So keep it moving for 3, 2, 1. Okay, come upright, release the foot. Stand with the feet hips width distance. Lift the toes up, flare them apart. Place them back down with a little bit of space in between. And then you stack all the other joints, knees over the arches of the feet, pelvis over the knees. It is neutral, neither spilling forwards nor backwards. Shoulders align over the hips. Ears in line with the shoulders. And gently close the eyes and notice what the body does. And you might notice a shift in weight. That wobble might translate to muscular engagement, maybe in the quads or outer hips. Notice what muscles fire, the core. And notice the rate of your breath, the beat of your heart. And then bring the hands together in front of the heart, aligning all the finger pads with their pair. Let's close with a shared breath. Exhale everything out. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And in a gesture of gratitude for each other, for the practice, for the innate intelligence of our bodies, we bow. All right, Jean, thank you so much.
Erica, thank you. That was very nice of you. You could have just said, "Oh, forget it," but that was very nice of you.
No, not at all. Yes, I felt horribly. I was traveling, and it is what it was.
It is what it is, and I appreciate it, and it's been very interesting. I get a lot out of it. Even though I do a lot of other yoga, I still get a lot out of this chair yoga thing too.
Yeah, cool. Well, I'll see you next Thursday for the mental.
Yes.
All right.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, Jean.